Over the years in the NBA, we have seen a lot of early draft picks with a ton of potential not play as good as they thought they would. This could be due to injury, the coach not giving them playing time, or the player just underperforming, and a lot of the times, teams and fans start to write the player off. But some of these players just need a few years to develop or just find the right place to play. And in this video, I'm going to be going over 3 NBA players who revived their careers. Cue the intro. Just one reminder that this list is not in any sort of order. This list contains 3 players who had a lot of potential coming into the league and either looked like they would be out of the NBA in their first few seasons or simply just dealt with a lot of injuries, but these players managed to revive their careers. And without further ado, let's hop right into this list with our first player, Markelle FULTZ. Markelle FULTZ was the first overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and he obviously had a lot of hype behind him. Not only due to his incredible play at the University of Washington, but he was also 1 pick before Lonzo Ball, who had double the amount of hype as Markelle, and was obviously the #1 pick, which naturally just comes with a lot of pressure. But FULTZ's rookie year was a really strange one, as he was dealing with a shoulder injury, which they later found out months later was thoracic outlet syndrome. And what that is when your blood vessels and nerves in your collarbone are too compressed, which causes pain in your shoulders, neck, and even your fingers. This was terrible news for Markelle and the Sixers, as not only did he only play 14 games his rookie season and 34 in the span of 2 years. Mind you, he was the #1 overall pick, and the Sixers traded him halfway through his second season to the Orlando Magic. The Magic only gave up Jonathan Simmons and a top 20 protected pick. Seeing what the Sixers took for Markelle FULTZ, it was obvious they didn't believe in his potential anymore. Markelle made his debut for the Orlando Magic in the 2019-20 season, and he didn't waste his opportunity there. After averaging just 7 points and 3 assists in the 33 games he played for Philly, Markelle played 72 games his first season in Orlando and averaged 12 points and 5 assists per game. Mind you, these are not the most eye-opening stats, but after looking like he would be out of the league if he didn't improve, this was a huge success for Markelle, and he even helped lead the Orlando Magic to the 8th seed in the playoffs as their starting point guard. However though, 8 games into the 2021 season, Markelle would tear his ACL in a game against the Cavs, and this injury was heartbreaking. After seeing all of the work Markelle put himself through to overcome his first injury, and now a torn ACL, Markelle would return the following season after missing 14 months of action and picked up right where he left off with his lightning quick speed. Now in the 2023 season, Markelle is averaging a career high 13 points per game, with 5 assists, a steal, and shooting about 50% from the field. The future is looking bright for FULTZ, as he's only just 24 years old still, and after all the injuries he's overcome, Markelle FULTZ takes home a well-deserved spot on this list. Our next player, we got SHAUN Livingston. Back in 2004, SHAUN Livingston was one of the brightest prospects to come into the NBA, and being a 6'7" point guard, a lot of teams had their eyes on him during the draft. SHAUN would get drafted by the LA Clippers with the 4th overall pick in 2004 straight out of high school, and being compared to guys like Magic Johnson and Penny Hardaway, there was a lot of hype behind him. However though, SHAUN would only average 7 points per game and play 30 games due to multiple injuries in his rookie season. His 3rd year in the league though, Livingston was starting to turn his career around, putting up 9 points and 5 assists per game. But on February 26, 2007, this is when Livingston's career would turn for the worse, as he suffered one of the most gruesome knee injuries in NBA history on the fast break. He tore his ACL, his MCL, his PCL, and dislocated his kneecap. Nobody thought that Livingston would be able to play an NBA basketball game again, and the Clippers let him go. But over a year and a half later, SHAUN Livingston would return to the NBA with a couple short stints in Miami and OKC. The next few seasons though, SHAUN would be bouncing from team to team as he was clearly a shell of himself, but he did manage to play 73 games for Charlotte in 2011, which was one massive plus. In 2014, SHAUN Livingston would sign a 3-year, $16 million contract with the Golden State Warriors, and here is where Livingston's career would come back to life. SHAUN was the backup point guard to Steph Curry, but he was a very efficient one with one of the best mid-range jumpers in the NBA, and his size at the point guard spot would cause a lot of problems for the other team. SHAUN would play a career-high 78 games, averaging around 6 points on 50% from the field, and helped the Warriors win 67 games in their first championship since 1975. 4 years later, and Livingston is a 3-time champion with the Warriors, and even though he retired at the age of 33, SHAUN had one of the greatest bounce backs in NBA history. After suffering one of the worst injuries in NBA history and everyone wondering if he'd ever play basketball again, SHAUN bounced around from 8 NBA teams to find his home with his 9th team, the Golden State Warriors, and there he helped the Warriors win 3 rings in 5 seasons as a crucial piece of their bench. What a story for Shaun Livingston, as I can only imagine the work he had to put in to get back into the NBA and to win multiple championships and stay healthy for the rest of his career. And now our last player on this list, we got Chauncey Billups. Mr. Big Shot. Literally in his name, Chauncey Billups is one of the most clutch players in the NBA during his time. But his career in the NBA didn't start out like that at all. Being the 3rd overall pick by the Boston Celtics in the 1997 NBA draft, Chauncey had high expectations coming into the league. But 6 years into his career, and Billups was already playing for his 5th team, averaging around 11 points and 4 assists per game in his first 5 seasons. Billups would sign a 6-year, $35 million contract with the Detroit Pistons, and this is where Billups' career would turn around for the better. Billups would play 6 years in Detroit, and here he really got to establish himself. During his time with Detroit, Chauncey would average 16 points, 6 assists, a steal, and shoot 40% from deep. Not only that, but he picked up 3 All-Star appearances, 2 All-NBA teams, and helped the Detroit Pistons win the 2004 NBA championship against the Kobe and Shaq Lakers, in which Billups took home the Finals MVP in. The Pistons almost won back-to-back championships in 2005, but they lost a close 7-game series to the San Antonio Spurs. Chauncey also reached the Eastern Conference Finals every year he was in Detroit from 2003 to 2008. In the beginning of the 2008-9 season, the Pistons weren't the same team anymore, and they traded Billups to the Denver Nuggets for Allen Iverson just 2 games into the season. Billups picked up right where he left off in Denver, as he picked up another All-Star nod and an All-NBA team. He also helped lead the Denver Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony to the Western Conference Finals against the Kobe and Pau Gasol Lakers. They unfortunately lost a close 6-game series though. Billups would pick up another All-Star nod the following season, in which would be his last at the age of 33. Billups would slowly decline over the next few seasons and bounced around the Knicks, the Clippers, and then went back to Detroit for a season to call it a career at the age of 37. After being the 3rd overall pick in 1997, Chauncey really struggled on the court his early days and struggled to find a home as well. He was looking like a bust at first, but when he got to Detroit in his 6th season, he would turn his career around for the better and the rest would be history. Chauncey would retire as a 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Defensive Team, and a 1-time champion with a Finals MVP under his name. Billups was always a reliable scorer, played top-notch defense, was one of the best free throw shooters in NBA history, and overall was really one of the most underrated guards this league has ever seen. Thank you guys so much if you made it to the end of this video. Drop a like and subscribe for more content just like this one, and leave a comment on any other players you think I should have mentioned in this video or future video ideas. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.